Welcome back to Sub-Zero Hero, and if I tell you it's the final day of the season, well, I think that tells you everything you need to know. Look at the table. We need a victory today just to secure a top half finish. After our last episode, there was no comeback. There was no charge for the finishing line. There was no revitalisation. We have not won since that episode. I think it's time, after 2 seasons at Tromsdalen, to have a major rethink about how we're doing things. So here is that end of season running. It's gruesome, I warn you. Don't look directly at it. It might turn you to stone. Things weren't looking great in the last episode when we could only scrape through 1-0 against the bottom team in the division. But that was actually the highlight for our end of season form. In the next game, we could only draw 0-0. That put us under pressure to get results in all of our remaining games just to try and grab that second place playoff position. But we couldn't do it. In the next game, we lost 2-1. And then we started trying to tweak the tactics a little bit to chase games and be more attacking. And well, we truly came unstuck. In the game against Bratvag, we went with 3 up top. All 3 of them played quite well, but nobody else did. And we lost the game 3-2. We then reverted back to our more turgid and stodgy defensive formation as we were playing top of the table Eidsvoll turn. And it worked. I mean, we only had 1 shot the entire game, but we held it out at 0-0. But it was watching this game on full highlights that I came to the realisation that the way we're trying to do things just isn't going to work. The Janet Jackson, the Sam Allardyce formation, the very, very defensive 4-4-2, it ain't gonna cut it. So in the next game, we experimented again, went with a different kind of lineup. It was okay, but was a little bit open, a little bit vulnerable, and we drew 2-2. But it's time for some real thinking because we've been playing defensive football for 2 seasons now, and to be honest, it's served us well. Here's why I went into this save with a very defensive formation. I came off the back of being sacked by Kettering, and off camera, you didn't even see being sacked by South Shields as well. I was relegated with West Ham in the beta. I was relegated with Kettering in a save that was meant to last all of FM21. I was a bit scarred by that. With all of those games, I've been trying to play this positive mentality. Clearly, it wasn't working for me or for the teams that I was managing. So here I tried to do things differently. I was also mindful of the fact that when I simmed through a season in Norway just to see how the league structure worked, Tromsdalen finished bottom in that first season and only amassed 4 points. So I knew this was a team that would be up against it. So I designed this very cautious defensive mentality. It's allowed us to finish 4th in our first season and maybe 7th in our second season. We've survived 2 seasons longer than we did at Kettering. But I don't think it's going to be the formation or the tactic that's going to take us forward. I don't see us getting out of the division playing this way. And in the game against Eidsvoll Turn, when we only had 1 shot all game and we were defending on our own 18-yard box for 90 minutes, well, I decided to change things up, tweak things up. So this is what we're going to be playing next season, I'm thinking. We'll have to see how it does in pre-season. It's not a radical shift, but I'm hoping it might make us a little bit more offensive. Bringing out a 4-2-4 formation, so changing the fullbacks to wingbacks, making sure that I don't bounce down to a cautious mentality too early in games, and I try and start them with a balanced mentality, but crucially, pushing our 2 wide players a bit further forward. Because at the moment, they're picking up the ball in quite deep positions, and they don't have the pace, the guile or the trickery to really advance very far with the ball. They're doing a great job at winning us throw-ins, but we routinely return those throw-ins to their defence. I'm hoping that by playing them a little bit further forward, well, they might be able to get the ball in more advanced positions, maybe in a little bit of space, get more balls into the box because we're playing a target man and we're not giving him enough service at the moment playing the Janet Jackson. So welcome to Steve Beaton, everybody. This is going to be the tactic that I hope is going to make us a little bit more potent next season. Now, this could leave us a little bit more open It's definitely a more forward-thinking mentality. I've also tried to strip back some of the different instructions that I've given the team just to keep it nice and simple. I've tried to put just 1 or 2 instructions on that I think are crucial to the way that I want to play. So I don't want to be too passive when we're out of possession. I want them to close down. I want them to counter-attack, but I don't want them thumping the ball too long to the target man. I want the goalkeeper to make sure that he plays out by giving it to the fullbacks, giving us chance to build play a little bit rather than go forward too early. And crucially, I want them to pass the ball into space, particularly to these 2 wide players, because when they're getting the ball into their feet on the halfway line, they ain't advancing very far with it. So I'm hoping that we can pass the ball into space for them to run onto and cross, so that the big man can be more of a threat in the box. That's the plan. I've also designed a bit of a variation of this tactic that might make us slightly more secure defensively. It looks a little bit odd. It looks like a pair of Y fronts, to be honest. I've called this the yen, Steve Beaton, because it reminds me of the Japanese currency symbol a little bit. But we've pulled one of our central midfielders back to sit just in front of the back 4, maybe thinking that might help us avoid counter-attacks a little bit better. I don't know whether there's any sense. I've not seen anybody playing this strange Y-shaped formation. There's probably a good reason for that. It perhaps leaves us very, very open in midfield. But it's the tactic that we're going to give a little bit of an airing today. If it proves an absolute disaster, then you can probably expect me to be back to Janet Jackson by the time I see you for the first game of next season. But we're going to pick a team. We're going to go out there for the final game of the season. And we're going to see whether these boys have the capacity to play on the front foot just a little bit more. Here we go then, we are underway. Final day of the season. I am always nervous when we are blooding a new tactic. I am no tactician, as people in the comments keep pointing out to me. This seems like I've designed something that has a lot of gaps in it on the face of it, but I just want to get our wide men in more advanced positions, get more balls into the box for players like Grunwald to get on the end of. But I worry that I might have opened up our defence a little bit. But there's the goalie playing out from the back. That's what we asked from him. Grunwald's won a ball. Lees falls onto one. You're in, son. You're not quite quick enough, though. But that was at least a chance. Grunwald involved in the build-up. It was good. Played out from the fullbacks from a goal kick. That's what we're after. We've had the only effort of the game. We're not being opened up yet. All right. We're doing okay. But I think if this isn't the formation, we've got to design something during the summer that's going to get us on the front foot a little bit more. If they had somebody sent off here, they have. Doesn't always help my teams, but we'll see how we do. We're on the front foot again here. Oh no, now we're getting counted on. So how does this work when we get counted on? We're okay. We're all right. We've won it airily. We've got 2 very airily dominant centre-halves back there, so that's good. That's exactly where we want to get the wingers involved. Not on the halfway line and asking them to make huge runs forward. Getting them involved a little bit further on. So what's happened here? There's our deep line midfielder. That's our right back. With a wing-back function marauding forward. And there's the winger playing the ball in. Grunwald as your target man. He's meant to be thundering in with headers on those. But we'll take a cheeky little tap in. That lifts us to 5th. And they are a man down as well. That's not bad. A second before half-time would be a dream. This is our right winger. What's he doing over there? Gives it to our left winger. Still he's picking the ball up on the halfway line though. At least he's got a ball in this time. And Leesful as the advanced forward has had a shot that's charged down again. Alright, not a terrible first half. And it's not even over. What have we got? There's the target man. Left back to our target man again. He's meant to be the man in the box. Never mind, he's in again. Oh, the goalie's he's let one spill. Kjelsås are already on their summer holes, I think. Well, this is Norway. Winter holes, I think it will be. But we're 2-0 up. It's working. We are on the front foot more. This is what we were after. Oh, the goalie has had a bit of a shocker there, but we will take it. So Kim Bendixson's in that centre midfield, but with an attack duty. That is the part of the formation perhaps I am most nervous about. That's the one I think I could be reviewing. I think maybe that does leave us way too open in the middle, but he got on the end of something there. What are we going to say? I'm very happy, lads. Keep it up. Let's have a look at how the tactic is playing then. So maybe that does need to go to a support duty. I don't know. Maybe to make it more solid, I need to pull the wingers back, but I want the wingers getting the ball in these advanced positions. It's to think about in pre-season. We need to get to the end of the season first, but it's a long time since we've been 2-0 up in a game. So we will take it. Nobody's even performing that poorly apart from Loveland. We're going to leave him on the pitch for the moment. If we're still 2-0 at 60 minutes against 10 men, I think we might give a final game of the season to a couple of our young boys. Gerser and Dreyer are both on the bench. They are the two that I think are most likely to figure for us next season. And we've also got our new youth intake to come in February time. We should be getting the report on them in about a month. Is that offside? I thought it was offside. But let's have a look at that, because that's the kind of chance I'm thinking we want to create there. That's our left winger. That's our left back. He's right up the pitch there. Grunwald's the one we want coming in on those kind of headers. But this was all right. We are playing a little bit more on the front foot. Look at the space that our left back has got over there. We didn't use him, but he was in acres. Absolute acres. Oh, now we're getting counted on again. Where's Carlson? There he is. That's what we wanted him to do by tucking him back there. Not too bad. Okay, we're going to pause it on 55 minutes. Mathiasson is playing pretty well, actually. But he is struggling for fitness. But here's a guy I'm thinking will be involved a bit more next season if we play this more advanced winger. Let's try swapping Gerser for Mathiasson. And we'll just leave Dreyer another few minutes, I think, before he potentially comes into the midfield. I think we'll do that now. Dreyer, by the way, continues to just train magnificently. So many of these ratings, I think, are going to get into double figures by the end of the next season. Thinking he is going to be the one that might just be one of the mainstays of our team for seasons to come if we survive that long. We're doing all right in this game though, aren't we? The XG's nearly at 1.5 goals. They've only had the one shot all game, although it must have been a pretty good one to have that kind of XG. Not done too much in this second half. Here we go, corner time. Grunwald's there, far post for him. Oh, he's nodded one over the bar. Gerser's there, getting the flick on. I think he's 5'8". It's corner time again. Where is the big man this time? He's at the near post, is he? Or maybe by changing all of the tactic, my formation has reset all my set pieces. Oh, and I don't think I've changed them, have I? Because we looked a little bit open there. Looked like I'd only left one back for the corner. All right. Another thing to have a little think about during pre-season. Get the old set pieces going again. Luckily, Vibe gets that one clear and we're okay. We've got another corner to defend. Don't give it away to 10 men now. That would be a bit of a heartbreaker. What do we shout? We're going to demand more. Oh no, we've been undone by set pieces that I haven't set up. Oh, we've got 4 men marking him on the front post. 4, count them. None of them got anywhere near him. Oh, now we're being chased down by 10 men. No, we're being chased down pretty hard. Maybe I should have made a bit of a change back to the old Janet Jackson. I think, actually, in a moment like this, you need Janet, don't you? Where is she? Good. We'll get Janet going on cautious. And we'll throw on a lot of time wasting. There's no point being too proud about things. We need the points. All right, Janet is back. Because we still have Janet in our back pocket next season. When we're playing strong opposition or we're seeing out games, I'm fairly confident that Janet Jackson can keep clean sheets. But it ain't getting us into leads, whereas, well, the Yen formation today managed to do it. Grunwald has played pretty well there. The midfield have not played great. Although we did take off the two midfielders that were playing the best, I suppose. So maybe there's some promise in there. Maybe. Let's tell the lads that they've done well. That was a good result for us. And for the end of the season, as the boys just watch the opposition walking around the pitch, we finished in 5th place. 4th place and 5th place finishes. On the back of sackings and relegations, I think I'll take it. But it's time for a really long pre-season where we're going to get some more youth intakes through. Hopefully, there is a couple more pearls in amongst them. We're going to get to work on a new tactic, something more offensive, and we will see you for the first game of next season to see what we have conjured up so that you can take to the comment section in your numbers telling me why it won't work. Thank you very much for tuning in and supporting this series so far. The number of people that have been viewing each episode is absolutely miraculous, and we appreciate it because it ain't easy out here trying to prove yourself as a Sub-Zero hero.